Welcome to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. Joining us today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Nick Walters. Walters. Thanks for being here, Nick.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So Nick, you are you're an Ann Arbor police officer in Michigan. You're down here hunting with us on our annual First Responders Hunt, which you have taken a big part of coordinating those efforts over the past few years. The hunt is sponsored by Safari Club International, a Flint, Michigan chapter. And how many years have you been down here now?
Oh, I think it should be year 6, I think, for me. I think it's 6. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Well, yeah, because COVID. 2020 is the first year.
Okay.
And I think it was right after that whole spurt or just before it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, because I was right before. I think my wife was pregnant, and it was just enough time to not be in the danger zone. And if I'm remembering right, I don't know. It's been like 6 solid years. So for me, since I've gotten involved. So
yeah, it's funny how they all blend in together.
Yeah. You go from holy crap, I'm in Southern Illinois to I've been here 6 years now, and now it's like home. Feels like home. Like a little second home. Every kickoff to the new year. So. Yeah, it's been good.
So that first hunt, we were talking a little bit about that last night. That was, there are those moments where, people come in to hunt and, just in kind of communicating, whether it be about their situation or their anticipation of the hunt or whatever it is, it comes across not as an unintentional motivational speech.
Me?
And you had one of those, your first ever sit. And I'm not going to ask you to recreate it, but some of the cool things about it were, just a lot of times when guys go into the woods with gratitude, for some reason they are successful. And I've seen it, for many, many years now, guys that have that positive, and so it's like we're going to one of the farms up in Pike. We're pulling onto the farm. We're driving to the stand. That wasn't the day we saw the bachelor group, was it? That was a different year, I think.
Oh, there's that mixing in again.
I don't know.
No, that was when we were scouting for somebody.
Yeah.
And
Good Heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And that bachelor group came out.
It might have been the same year, but it wasn't that same day. It was
okay.
like the next morning. We just cruised out and was like, oh, there's $6 in January.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't see that too much in Michigan.
Early.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just cold.
Yeah.
Period. If you want to short explain it, it was just, it gets cold in Michigan, but it was just that bitter. It was just ice. Well, we got that ice. It was like an ice storm here.
Yeah.
All the trees, it didn't even look real. The whole thing. So I'm already in Illinois, like, holy crap, Southern Illinois. I think I literally caught like a Stan Potts old YouTube or something like that same week. I'm like, oh, I'm here now. Like, for a deer hunter, if it's one of those things. It's like going to maybe a big stadium for like the big house. And if you've never been there, you get like, oh, wow, okay. That's why they call it the big house, that bowl. So, yeah, it was just cold. There's no other. It's pretty simple to explain that hunt. Yeah. It was cold. I was excited. And then we got sat up and we're like, oh, it's real cold. The safety ropes frozen to the ladder going up, and okay, let's see if we can, and then all the way up, and it was cold, but I was just so pumped to be in a tree in Southern Illinois. I didn't care. I grinded all year through Michigan, and then I was still just so pumped to get it here and get on that hunt and just see I was still taking in the landscape and just deer everywhere, just driving around, let alone having a bow in your hands and, getting after it. So it was good. It was just frigid cold. Like literally I froze to the seat. My arms froze just from being in the truck, and then that heat comes off. Arms, not kidding, legit froze to the tree stand, and bottom froze in that little dip to the seat. And I saw them coming in from that low spot out of the thicket down there, and they were walking that edge line right to me. And so I tried to have a little bit of a, that little. You've done this before, like calm down. Like as soon as I go all the way, I'm like, oh, luckily I was safe. Luckily I did it early and got prepared, took that deep breath, because I think they hopefully just thought it was trees crackling or something, so much ice. But yeah, they just came right in, had a nice little 22, 23 yard shot. I think she stopped right on the tracks we pulled in on and was getting that whiff, and that's all she wrote. Made a good shot, and she ran about 40, 50 yards, and I was like, all right, we killed a deer in Illinois. Yeah. night one, right? Hour two. Here we go. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so
that was my first hunt here. Yeah, it was about that simple, but it was cold.
And so a couple of things that I want to kind of talk about. One, the first responder hunt is designed so Safari Club basically says first responders in our area, we're going to send you guys to Illinois. It's designed as a doe hunt, where Safari Club picks up the tab on the hunt, the tag, most of the meals and dinners. And it's just from my experience over the years, it's an opportunity to kind of get away from the grind and decompress, relax,
absolutely.
Some camaraderie. Some of the, over the years that what I've picked up is kind of like sports, cops and, firefighters, and overall the locker room, the camaraderie amongst the team, if you will, seems to be a really big, concept, or something that people that do what you do, really gravitate towards.
Yeah, I think it's still there. It used to be a lot stronger. I mean, not to get too deep into it, but times are just different, and you hear it for this and for that, and it just is. It's just different now. No matter in every state, all across the country, without getting too deep, but it's hard, and it's hard not to get deep into it, but
right.
I don't know, keeping it simply, it's a lot of turnover right now. It's a lot of questions. It's a lot of overworked, I mean, you're going to work overtime. You're going to work holidays. You got to know that. So get over that if you're thinking about it, because it might be year 1, it might be year 20. It depends on, on numbers and this and that. But they call it that thin blue line or the brotherhood. That's there, but it's supposed to be there for what reasons, like you're saying. Just it's tough. It is, and there's days. And with that job, this goes to where you're at, state-wise, city-wise, sheriff, city police. You got to remember, like, we all experience it just in different ways. And, a lot of things we say is that roller coaster. You might have 4 or 5 days. You might have 4 or 5 weeks, and then you just got that day. And it's like, whew.
Yeah.
Like, was that one shift, or did I just come back from another planet or something? Like, is this real life? And it just, it hits you. So it might be some place, some guys going, yeah, okay, where do you work? Right. But you still have those days or those calls or scenes or incidents where it's like, whoa, like, oh yeah, this is real life again. And, so back to what you were saying. Yes, this is that for hunters, if you're a hunter, or maybe even if you're not, you know, if you want to, we try to filter different people, and it's not just police, it's firefighters as well. And that, as past years have shown, that brings that camaraderie and that rivalry
that
as well.
banner,
that, you know, it's true, it's there, and but it's fun. And yeah, I mean, we haven't had, I don't know how you classify that, but everybody that's attended since I've been involved in every group, and it's been mixed and matched, and things happen, you know, with the job. People got to bail last minute, things change, forced overtime, holidays, family stuff, getting sick. That's, I mean, I luckily got a deer that first night, because after that, it was whatever that was, it was not fun, and I was down and out basically the rest of the trip, just fighting to feel alive and be a part of the group. But last year, I think, right? Yeah, last year we kind of had the same issue. It just, a couple guys got kind of sick and weird stuff, and still made it through. Saw some deer, but saw a lot of bucks. But yeah, it's that camaraderie, and it's just been fun. There's no other way to put it. It's a good time, and it's your hunt. So I think, you know, we kind of talked earlier, it's not just about coming and killing deer. Like, hunting should never be about that. If it is, then I guess to each their own. But for me, it's just, it's in the blood, dude. It's just, I love every aspect, and it doesn't matter. And the older I get too, it's something my dad said was, as he got older, it was kind of like that. I don't know. I just don't care to go out, and I like watching them. And if there's one thing I learned from that, it was, especially coming to Southern Illinois, is, man, just take some time. If you are a newer hunter, or even a hunter, or a Michigan hunter, this is different. But what you can take from here, just watching the deer a little more chill in a sense, like they don't stop and look and directly up into your tree stand, like Michigan. Yeah, boy, you can learn a lot. And you're double dutying. You're just taking that decompression, chill. There's no pressure, hunt, sit, and then just, you know, watch the deer and just learn. That's what I did for me, and why I fell in love with this area and this hunt. So, yeah. So it's not just about killing deer. It's you. What me and Zach like to say, Goodhart, who kind of brought me under his wing, helping him with this is your hunt. If you want to hunt every day, all day, knock yourself out. If you want to just hunt mornings, hunt mornings. If you want to hunt morning and night, you know, do that. But this is about you. Enjoy yourself, relax, talk deer, talk stories, and then, you know, cops are cops, right? We can't help it. By the end of the night, you're going to be telling some stories, but hopefully with that kind of chill relaxation when you go home. And that's one thing I did, which I kind of knew being in it already as long as I have been, is just you kind of leave going, oh, okay, it's not just me. Or maybe a little different scenario, but we all deal with the same stuff. And you kind of have that, okay, like, yeah, we're all going through this. So stuff together. So yeah, it's good. It's a good time. So if you're listening.
Yeah, I think I think it had to be the year that, like, Pitt and Burton were down. And we had few firemen down, and the banter got real thick. And it went from this banter to all of a sudden it became like real talk, but from a almost like a learning perspective. So I don't know enough to know exactly how it goes down, but I think firemen oftentimes are the first ones at the scene. Yeah, usually. And the perspective was, when they get to the scene, they go through their protocol, and their protocol might mess with a cop's protocol, and then
that's what creates that.
Yes.
Or the classic. So I would say usually they're first, depending, but like a lot of times you get a call, they'll say like, oh, the scene, you know, is the scene's not safe yet. Well, that means we're going in first, boy. That's where that comes from. Like, step aside, firefighters. Like, you get to use your hose in a minute or whatever. It might be a medical, you know?
Right.
And so that's where that comes from. But
what I saw that week was almost like it got beyond the banter.
Yeah.
And then there was some understanding of, that's why you do what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And it was crazy that here, 9 hours away from where most of y'all live,
right,
these things are being uncovered. It's not covered in training. It's not covered like there's no memo that goes out. Yeah.
You might be a newer person and never, you kind of see that like, from both sides, that makes sense. I never really thought about that. Like a lot that goes on today. Like, I never really thought about it like that.
I'm still going to call you a hose dragger.
Yeah. We did that twice. I think that was the first, that's where I found out about it from those guys. And then what was that, year 3 or 4? We got 3 more firefighters, Three Rivers, Michigan, I think it was a group. Yeah. And same thing, but it was a blast. It was fun, and they were good hunters, and that was a hard week. We had to put some hours in and get some deer, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about whatever. My first time here was on a 2-day notice. Mm-hmm. An unfortunate incident happened for the group that was coming, and they could not make it. And I had a 2-day notice of, okay, who is this guy? Where's this place? I got to drive 8 hours, 7.5 hours on 2-day notice on the first of the year with 2 kids. And what, if you can do it. Ask your wife politely. Shout out to mine for letting me come. It's hard, you go through the holidays, and then I'm hunting like in Michigan, like October 1 to, outside some, family stuff now and immediate stuff. And, I'm hunting. Yeah. If I can, I'm going. I'm in the woods, and it's, day 1. That was, she'll laugh if she sees this. But like I said, like, yeah. So, 10/1 through like second week of December, like, I'm unavailable. But anything before that, like, let's knock yourself out. But, anyways, back to my point. If you can, yes, it's the beginning of the year. It's tough, but start your new year off right at the same time. Give yourself that little. We try to say 3-day. At least try to make it 3 days. Give yourself, pending weather and stuff. But if you're worried about coming, or you've never been out of state like I was, it's a simple drive. It's an easy drive. Get here. We'll take care of you, and you'll hopefully be pleasantly surprised like I was. And you helped that great as well too. I think what I noticed was your general curiosity and the guys that came before me, that group, telling stories and, knowing how much I love. Like, dude, you got to do this. You got to do this. Like, you can go. Like, it was literally a 2-day notice. Like, I think 2 of them, like, you have to go. Like, go. Just trust me. And I was like, all right. And my wife as well knew. She's like, yeah, he's been waiting for this. Like, that out of state, like, prime time, location. It is still, if you don't think it is. I know. I was looking at some Facebook stuff this week, and yeah, come. I'm in a very good spot in Michigan. Very lucky, very fortunate, but you're working you might catch a lucky night once in a while, but you're working down there. So anyway, yeah, it was, take the trip, reach out. It's hard, word of mouth. Like, I think it's helped get around these last few years, and hopefully this show has helped. Obviously, social media stuff's helps, but with Aaron, that general curiosity you had right away, and that just natural, like, chill vibe you create for the hunters coming in, and then just asking like real questions. You time it right, you ask it right, because what's everybody do when you. What's your craziest thing, or have you ever done this, or the classic, it wasn't me, like, we laugh, but it's like, it's really nice just have someone look you like straight in the face and be like, hey man, how are you? How's life?
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing? You know, what's your thoughts on this, or how do you feel? How do you get? So it's just that almost little therapy jam too. Just it's the total package. So if you can make it, we have a good time, and you know, I keep coming back. So I guess there's something good about it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. For those of you just joining, Nick Walters, Ann Arbor Police Department, down here on a first responder hunt and providing a lot of insight as to the hunt itself, the group, the experience, some of his hunting experiences. And, Nick, you touched on it. You said you hunt a pretty good spot in Michigan, but there's, I grew up west side of the state.
Mm-hmm.
I came down here hunting deer. First time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is me. Like I'm going here.
Yeah.
And, at that time I was young. I was just graduated college. I was 22, and it's like me and a couple of my good buddies get to go play in the woods and call it work. Like, yeah, let's see where this can go. Fast forward to now. But Michigan was different.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on a horse farm. I don't know if you know this or not, but my grandfather had a diagnosis where it was his farm that we lived on. And it wasn't a good diagnosis. And he was the person that put the passion for deer hunting, in me.
I remember we talked about that.
Okay. He built a high fence around
Yes.
our farm and our neighbor's cattle farm.
Yes. All right.
And it was all the deer. So the DNR was supposed to come in and count the deer with a helicopter.
Huh.
And him being the guy he was, he's like, they're never going to be able to count them. So we're just carrot piles in the middle of the farm, just loading carrot piles. And then fence goes up, and then here are these deer. And it was like I got to see what deer were like in nature, because until that fence went up, it was, and even after the fence went up, I mean, I'm in like a freshman in high school, and I'm chasing grown men with guns off of our property. They're trying to, cut the fence, and just that was my experience in Michigan.
Yeah.
And so to get away from that.
Yeah.
But then when you're in an area where you've got a lot more agricultural, we were like the first farm. We were one of the last farms standing in suburban, like Grand Rapids.
I gotcha.
And most of the other farms had been sold and were developed, with these like nice homes on a few acres, but they're all kind of look the same type thing, cul-de-sacs, all that.
Sure.
So we were one of the last farms, and that was my experience. But where you're out, you're, more east side of the state.
Yeah, southeast.
Yeah. You've got a lot of ag land.
Oh, yeah.
You got some timber pockets. You have a little bit more, similar to what is here.
Yeah.
A little
Definitely.
bit more.
Yep.
But your hunting experience up there, like, there's some good bucks. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, Michigan. I mean, that's all I know. Not now, but it goes hand in hand. Like, alls I knew was Michigan and buddies and other hunting friends. You're regular small town guy like me. Like, you're always dreaming, and that's what the hot topic is now. Everyone's trying to go out west, which is great. Like, get out there, hunt. Like, a little harder these days. We won't go down that road right now, but it kind of goes back to, if you can do it, try it, do it. And that's why on a 2-day notice in the first of the year, I did this. Again, bless her heart. Wife's like, go, like, just go. This is what you've been waiting for. Sounds like a cool guy. Who knows what connections you make, yada yada. But coming here, my point is, going back to Michigan, man, it made me realize why I love Michigan, and Michigander, but it made me appreciate even more what I had there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought hitting the lottery coming down here for a regular deer hunter is, you hear Pike County,
Mm-hmm.
Illinois, it's just like Pike County, Ohio. I think we said that. It's funny how they go hand in hand. They're all big buck areas, but it made me appreciate more what I hunt down there and what I really had, because Michigan's tough. First off, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're there. You got to hunt. And I know it's hard. Look, I'm married. I have 3 kids. I know. And law enforcement on top of it, whatever else. It ain't easy.
Right.
Like, you got to schedule your stuff right and your time. But that's what I do, and that's what I love, so I do it. And, I think what I see last year, he made a big thing on it because he's the beast. What's his name? Dan. Oh my gosh. Of course, I'm going to brain fart it now. Oh, he has the sticks. Beast sticks. Anyway, I'll think of it. It'll hit me.
Infall?
Infall. Dan Infall. Yeah. And he was talking about, like, how much he hunted, and people like, dude, you're still, like, grinding 6 days a week, and you're, sorry if I chop late, 50, 60, whatever he's close to. Like, take the time, but, like, what I got into with that big buck, kind of, when it bites you, like, it bites you, but
mm-hmm.
I had like a 2-3 year spurt where it was like, if I didn't have a deer by end of November, like, I wasn't a good buck. Like, I felt wrong. I felt like I wasn't good enough, or like I wasn't hunting enough, and then you stop and go, like, is that really what? Sure. I mean, it's a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you're at, it should be like,
mm-hmm.
It's a challenge, but like, I had to take a step back. So, like, kind of this year, a little bit last year, you take that slow down a little bit. Another good thing to this trip, this first responder hunt, that helps with that is, just taking that step back, taking that slow down. But it made me respect my spot even more, what I had in Michigan, and yeah, just how lucky I was to have what I had there, let alone, trying to come here every year for this hunt and support that. But I got to work. Like, I'm hunting, technically it's like a 10 point something plot with maybe 4 of timber, and there's only 2 ways in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right.
It's, and one of the biggest things I learned from my buddy, named Southie, is that wind game. If there's anything I learned from hunting here, especially, and taking it back home, because growing up, like, you would hear about it, but, like, it's just the good old boys. You go out and you sit and you hunt. And
mm-hmm.
you don't move. Go out, sit still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works. But you start playing with these big bucks, and especially Michigan, I don't even really mess with that scent gear stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It can help, but I think I've heard some other guests kind of hit on it. But, like, if you're not playing that wind, game's over already. Mm-hmm. You might get lucky in the rut or something, but tremendously, that helped me taking that back to Michigan probably the last 2 or 3 years. Okay. And how many opportunities I missed, or it was just something, to be honest. I wasn't really, no fault to someone else, or who, mainly Dad, who got me into it. Like, you would say, like, oh yeah, you want to try to have the wind in your face, but it didn't hit like you hit it here. Like, what do you mean you can't hunt that stand? Well, the wind's not good. I'm like, so? Like, and then you're like, then you see it, or you really start watching and hunting and watching these deer. And, when it hit me, I think it was after my first year here, hunting back next season in Michigan. I was just kind of trying to do a doe hunt in archery, and I was risking it, not a lot, but out in front of me, they would come out, and it was just like probably like a what would it be, like a true northeast wind, maybe it was. So I kind of had that little angle.
Yeah.
So if they cut hard through the field, they'd catch me. But if they follow that path straight down right to me, I'd probably be okay to enter my little chunk of timber.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Of course that didn't happen. And it was the first time I ever seen a deer, like, especially a good old wise doe, you know, stop dead in her tracks at 150, 175 yards and do that stop and go, oh, that's that. That's why. That's why how many hunts I thought I was in the prime, and I never even seen, they never touched within 50 yards. They had me at 200 because I wasn't playing that wind. And that's something crazy, and how important that is that I learned here. And I just, you know, it's just that aha moment, like, yeah, this is done. Stopped in her tracks and stuck that nose up, and then it was just, I know it's kind of that nerdy thing that hunters do, but it was just like, I was so frustrated, but so like, yeah, wow. Like, this is why I love this, why I love these animals. And she might as well have walked dead to my tree from 200 yards out from a wide open field, wind blowing consistently. She would have pegged me if she wanted to. Mm-hmm. She just took her girls and back into the thicket.
We out.
Never seen him again that night.
Yeah.
But I love it there. I've had some good bucks, man. I will never be able to repay the two brothers that property I hunt on. I mean, I put in a lot of time and hours. I kind of prep all their stuff, stands, cutting down weeds, you know, trying to get them shooting lanes, especially now with family life and stuff. But, you know, so a shout out to them, and I'll never be able to repay them. I think I'm 17 years in. Now it was my 17th year hunting their property, and I can kind of hunt both sides of the road. And now our kids and our boys are getting older, and it's that fun process. I mean, I still get after it, but, you know, I got 2 bucks this year. We won't talk about the first one, but second one was pretty solid. You know, your typical, well, you know, your Michigan 8, but you know what, man, like, I love it. So yeah, it's probably a deer I'd like to see hit a year older, but it goes back to that Michigan mentality. Like, you love to see people hunt. I love it. I could come up here every year and sit with someone without a bow or a firearm. I'm happy and can teach or whatever, you know, how kind of like you are. And I could not even hunt if I didn't have to. I'd still have a great time. That's how much I just love being out there. But I've shot some good bucks off it. I've been lucky, you know. But this year is kind of, I took that slow down, and my boy is so pumped, my oldest.
Yeah.
Like, that second deer, I was after a big one. He's high 140s, 150s all day.
All right.
All day, 3-4 years old. Little thinned out from rutting. Buck I got on camera one time, disappeared per usual, and showed back up, of course, that first weekish in December, and I got him back-to-back nights and on cam, daylighting, and he must have had a little hot dough going. So, because he was in there like morning, night, morning, and then I went in the third day after him, and he never showed. But I should have gave it a little more time, but like 3 different groups of does came in, and then that buck came out, and I was like, man, that's pretty nice. And I was like, what I've been trying to practice and teach my son, and we kind of try to practice on the property too, is, you know, letting them get, and then the neighbors as well. Shout out to them for the most part. They've been kind of on the same page, trying to see that better quality of deer and letting them grow a little bit, because they're there. I mean, I can't deny where I'm at and how I passed 17 different bucks this year, and that's no lie.
That's awesome.
No lie. 17 different bucks, from spikes to 8s, you know. One was a small 10-point that, you know, the last decade, before the last probably 5 years, I had you know,
he's done.
He's done, you know. It's a buck. That's how you race. And
right.
I'm not saying if you want to do that, that's great. It's your hunt, it's your tag. I truly do believe in that. I do believe in that little more philosophy now. Like, dude, we have so many does. And the Michigan, I don't want to say, I don't believe in the 22 tag policy they got going right now. If anyone's not aware of that, it's
I don't know what it is.
It's technically you get your combo, which is $2 or $1 and a doe, depending on the season. But you can get with that combo, it's like 12 tags for regular opening archery through firearm. And then we have late antlerless from 1/1 through, I think it's like some places, I think it's to the 31st this year, January.
Wow.
I mean, that's almost 2 straight months of firearm. That's a lot. And then you come here to Illinois and they're like, the first time I was like, what? Like 3 days a piece, whatever it is, 4. I'm still learning it. But like spread out from November 15th, depending on what county you are, I want to say for sure it's like the 16th or 13th of January is late doe. You can get another 10 tags. Like, what are you going to do with 22 deer?
I don't know.
I got 4 in state and donated 2 of them to friends and family for food because they love it. They just don't hunt. You know, like what are you going to do with 22? How do you get 22 tags? And that's how much it changed in the last 5 years. I used to not even be able to get a doe tag down there.
Really?
You'd have to put in for an early draw. It's like $5, whatever it is. And the first so many people that did it, you drew for Monroe County, you drew a tag, and that was it. That was your doe tag.
Okay.
And then you got your combo, and that was it. So from 1 to 22 in literally 5 years, which I agree with more tags, but like now, like usual, we're overkill now. And the stats are still saying they're not getting shot still, but we were sitting there for a couple of years seeing groups of does in the high teens consistently.
Okay.
Like daily.
Yeah.
And I think that mentality of that whole more does, more bucks, it's not really true.
No.
And it's if you're going to do that though, like as hunters, we got to, and that's one big thing I learned. You kind of get that a little bit, especially, you know, when you're young and you got to get that buck, you know, shooting a doe's not cool. Well, if you really get into it and start diving into it and real true management, and you got to shoot some does, boys. Like we got to shoot some more does. So, and that's our biggest thing there. Me and my buddy go over a lot from even there to Ohio is $1, you know, and what is it here? Is it 1 archery and 1 firearm? Even that, at least split it up, you know. You'll make, I think you'll make people a little more, I don't want to say picky, but force that learning process and true management where, geez, I mean, he's hunting Southern Ohio. I was like, dude, I saw 5-to-1 buck to doe. And when I saw a doe, it was like, oh, there's a doe. Where I'm going out and I'm like, they're bucks, like here, like alive, like outside the old Spiker, Michigan 1-1, you know?
Right.
And like I said, I'm in a good spot, but you still got to hunt them. But yeah, we got to shoot some does down there and stop with that kind of big head mentality. And that's going to help our state with true management. But
yeah, a lot of things are going on right now.
Yeah.
Statewide for every state. I mean, we got some crazy stuff going on here in Illinois. I know Michigan's got some wild stuff on debate to not bait, different tag allotments, how they're doing everything. Over the past 5 years, all the states have started using straight wall cartridges.
Yep.
You know, crossbows are now a big thing.
It's almost hard to even talk about it. Like, it's so hard to stay on one track. Like,
right.
I'm sitting there talking to you and I'm trying to stay on point one and all that just from reading so much. And
the thing is, I think we're starting to see through social medias, through different aspects like YouTube, where a lot of different educational stuff is out there. And it's pretty common for deer hunters to binge watch this stuff. And it's not
Guilty.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm guilty.
It's different opinions, and a lot of it's backed up by. It's not like a double-blind placebo, whatever they talk about with the medical. But some of the drone stuff that's coming out. You got Mississippi State that's putting out a bunch of good stuff. You got it's now National Deer Association.
Yeah,
that's always put out some good stuff. Then Brian Murphy, who is the president there, is at Georgia Outdoor News, I think is what it is, gone. And so he's a wildlife biologist. Okay. You have, here guys from Illinois, Don Higgins.
Yep.
You've got all kinds of people that are sharing their experiences. And who's that crazy guy from Michigan with the yellow glasses, walks around like he owns the world, like, and he like sections all his property up into different like mazes, and then he says he gets the deer to cross in front of his stand, so the deer are working on, and it's like, this is crazy, but to some extent it's got to work. Like to some extent he's taken his 40 acres or 50 acres in Michigan, and
I'm not sure who that is. I can't think of who it is. Yellow glasses?
Yes. He's serious because he wears yellow glasses. It'll come to me. But seeing all of this stuff and having all of this information available, I think empowers hunters to where I'd love to see it where maybe we can get a little bit more involved in understanding the data. Maybe some of these agencies make data more readily available so we can understand why the decisions that are being made.
Another rabbit hole to jump down.
It's
kind of, at what point is that all we have left but to face that and go, who's gonna say it? It's time to have some real talk. Like, I get it. Okay, you're back to, one of the big things I think, or my general, what we hear in Michigan is like insurance stuff. It's car accidents, So, well, that's great. You get 22 tags, but if we're not hunting, I don't know, maybe it's a generational, it's like, which way do you go with it or direct it? It's tough. Like,
well, let's back this down.
All right.
So auto insurance lobby.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody knows that they have an issue with deer.
Yeah.
Well, they're publicly traded most of the time.
Yeah.
And so they want shareholder value.
Yeah.
So now they're making decisions with regard to deer.
Yeah.
But then you also have farmers in the Farm Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they are experts at growing crops. And I'll tell you, you can learn a lot about deer listening to an old farmer.
Yes, you can.
But are they experts on deer biology?
Right. And crop damage too. Like, hey, I get it. That's another huge thing I learned, or asking my farmers kind of questions. And they're like, finally, even in that whole, like I said earlier, more does, more bucks mentality went to, shoot it. Please.
Kill them all.
Like, kill them all.
Right.
Well, that's not good either. But
they do the crop damage.
What I learned was just, even like I call that little spot, and my buddies are going to laugh if they see this, but I call it the death corner.
Yeah.
Killed a lot of deer in that corner. It's a pinch point.
Okay.
It used to be phenomenal. It was like this little perfect island. Anyway, like that death corner, they were like, dude, whack the does there. Like, take some does now. Like, bow season, whatever, because me and one other person mainly bow hunt, and one little corner, it was nothing. I mean, we're not even talking like an acre. Something you can walk in 30 seconds was $4,500 worth of damage, they estimated.
Right.
In just this little pocket.
Yeah.
Now times it by their hundreds of acres.
I get it. How many raccoons are you seeing there?
Good point.
How many? groundhogs.
That leads into trappers. How many guys are...
And fur's not worth anything anymore.
So you got to like it to do it because the money's not there.
But deer are really easy to blame for these bent over stalks. Deer don't bend the stalks.
Right.
They will wreak havoc. There's no doubt. But,
I think it's an easy blame.
I think everybody has common goals and nobody communicates about it.
Yeah. Well, how far do you want to take that?
We just give us the data.
It goes right to the top.
We need the
data.
Look
at the data. Have a real talk about it. And just look, everyone's not going to be happy. If that's the case, then you're probably doing something right.
And look at what some of these other states are doing.
Yeah.
Hey.
They're right there in front of your face.
Right?
You don't have to mimic it, but let's start taking some truths.
Everybody thought Iowa was like, Iowa's the, top.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you got a lot of issues happening in Iowa.
There's things, you
got these EHD coming around.
That's
been nasty.
Demon in us. It hit Michigan this year.
Okay.
Bad. Like to the point it was like, same thing. Guilty. Like, oh yeah, because we haven't had to really deal with it. Mostly that mid-central kind of part. Not close to us. Well, it got close this year. As far as we know, like our area, but it got as close as like, Dexter, Jackson, especially. I mean, Jackson County is a huge big buck county for Michigan. That the Nuge. That's where I think, right? His farm is.
I think so.
So they're always on the map for big bucks, but it hit hard this year. I mean, to a point I didn't even know. And then I was people at work, other acquaintances were like, dude, we're finding deadheads like half in velvet still. Like this doesn't happen here. And there's no wound. There, it wasn't a coyote related thing or something. And that that subject alone is.
But we're finding that maybe if we listened to deer biologists and gave them a little bit more room to speak up, maybe some of these problems wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a quick break, hear a word from the sponsors, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. Those of you just joining, we have Nick Walters here. He's hunting with us from the Safari Club Flint First Responders Hunt. And we were just talking about a bunch of different rabbit holes.
We could do this all day, all weekend.
Yeah. So, we're running close on time. Nick, you shared with us a lot of the differences and kind of what makes coming to Illinois special, different things about hunting with the first responders group and some of the benefits there. You mentioned earlier your dad shared with you about, just kind of, I enjoy watching them and just kind of soaking in the different hunting aspect or experience. Who are some of the other people in your life that have kind of driven you to hunting and shaped the way that you hunt?
So we grew up just, we were just gun hunters, the good old true classic gun hunters. And then, mostly my dad, but, he had a brother-in-law at the time and we had a awesome, going back to being thankful for what he had. And we had an awesome spot over in, technically is Manchester, Michigan, like Bridgewater Township, I think they called it. Little cabin right on the Raisin River, plywood walls, wood burner, cross the river in the boat. That's cool, dude. I mean, I'll never forget that. But it was him, my uncle, and then my uncle's dad. I mean, those were probably the three major, Steve and old Dick. Man, if you could write a book about a classic Michigan deer hunter, he was the guy. You know? Old school pants, red flannel to the day, the typical orange hat with the flappers.
Oh, yeah.
With a Marlboro Red ready to go, fired up, sitting between two trees.
Yep.
And you know, he just, I wish I had a picture. It's the perfect in that deep old smoker's voice. Let's go shoot some bucks tomorrow, boys. Just that's special, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's so special for me and growing up. And, my brother hunted for a little while before he got older. And so those were kind of the staples. And it was back and forth. And then, honestly, what kind of set me off was when I got into archery. It was a girl I was dating in high school.
Yeah.
And her dad was big into archery and took me up to Hale, Michigan.
Okay.
State land. Yeah, I didn't know what I had. Whew. I sat 6 straight days and saw 2 deer.
Yeah.
Whoa. But, yeah, that's when it really took off. So he kind of got me into archery. And then from there, I caught that archery bug and it really just took off. And then 2 different big spectrums, from archery to gun, and that's just that challenge that a buddy as well, that guy I mentioned earlier, big, I mean, it's all he does now. I don't even think he takes a gun out anymore. He'll go out November 15th with a bow.
Yeah.
Just how he is. Grinder.
Yeah.
And he was probably a big one too. And just learning deer but especially bucks.
Yeah.
Like, going after a good mature deer in Michigan, it's tough. Unless you really got that lockdown private farmland, I get it. Like, sure, I wish I had 500,000 acres too, but
yeah,
I'm still hunting a 10-acre little piece with only 4 of actual timber. And I mean, I've shot, the biggest I got out of there was a 152-inch buck.
Dang nice deer.
He was a little lucky, but, we called him, he's one of those ghost bucks, we always call him,
Yeah.
You don't really get into the name thing, but, that was a 4-year venture for me. And so, yeah, back to did I just talk about deer?
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean, man? But yeah, mostly my dad, and he doesn't really hunt anymore, but just it's in your blood, man. That's where it originally came from, and to this day, he still drives around. He hops in the truck, and they're moving, or I didn't see nothing, or they're heavy, or they're rutting, or they're it's just that. And I think the point to that is if everybody too, like, I get it, I get crazy over it, like. You want to get a deer, and then your buddies are going, "Oh, Mr. Buck Slayer, you ain't got a buck yet." And it's like, man, once I broke away from that, like, don't get me wrong, I still love it. I try to chase mostly mature deer, but if you can kind of break that, like, blanket I think we put over ourselves with that, man, you're going to enjoy hunting so much more, and you're probably going to have better hunts, better opportunities, and learn. Yeah. And that's where going back to them, they taught the basics, that love, that passion. And then when you allow yourself to just go hunt, kind of get back to that old school way, get this stigmatism off us of making it a straight sport. Like, you're going to be happier. You're happier just, I sat more hours in the woods on garbage, what we would call bad days, just to sit.
Yeah.
Just to be out there, and you'd be surprised what you might see and learn. And that's something now that hopefully, the way this crazy world is going, I'm getting my oldest son involved, and that's the best part, dude.
Yeah.
You have a son now, and that's the best part. Like, sure, I love to get after it still. Sure, I love to get those ones on cams and get a plan and go after them. But man, sitting out, teaching him now, seeing him, up till this year, he's 7 years old, and he's watching a deer come out, and it's still that initial, like, yeah, Dad, it's time. Not where now it's in one season, a little bit last year, from early bow to that early gun. Now that deer, he's 7 years old, dude. I would have never done that at 7 years old. I was like, deer, you shoot it. Right. That's what we're here for, right? Right. And I think me and Zach were talking about the other day. It's like, Dad, there's a buck. It's right here. Why are we? I thought this was the point. Well, it is, son, but I don't really want that one. You know,
Right.
like I'm saying, Zach did a great thing. I'm saving him for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be here next year when you're ready to go and you can hunt. But to the point, that deer comes out now and he's looking at that deer physically and going, I think that one's too young, isn't it, Dad? That's a young deer. And I'm going, yeah. Now, you know, that's what we should be teaching, passing on. That's what it's about. And even if you don't have kids, if you can take anyone, get them out there. I've seen more guys and gals, especially, hitting like that late 30s.
Yeah.
And are going hunting.
Yeah.
Like, great.
It's awesome. We need it.
You know,
strength in numbers.
We need it. And yeah. So.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all of it. And thanks for being down here. Thanks for all your efforts with the
I love it.
first responder hunt.
If you can come down. Figure out a way to reach out to me. Every year we try to do a little recruit. It's tough. It's, you know, we try to stick to mainly Michigan. Just because that's where that chapter's out of. But so if you're fire, EMS, you know, first responder, we'll try to reach out. We try to reach out every year on Facebook. It gets a little crazy, but we try to, you know, we mix it up every year, get a good group of guys down here. And like we said earlier, if you're worried about it, thinking about it, interested, just come. Please come. It's a great time. It's a great thing. And hopefully something from the start to finish to the SCI dinner, hopefully afterwards, the people you meet, connections you make, and it's a good time, and hopefully it's something we can keep doing, man. You know, I love it. So
yeah,
I love being here, and it's to the point now where my family's like, you know, we want to go down there. We want to see whatever. We want to go down to Southern Illinois. Okay. Like it's kind of quiet, but that's the point, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great thing. Thanks to SCI and to you and Good Heart. And I mean, we talk all year long, and it's a friendship and a bond, and just that it's just good for you. Yeah. That's all I can say, man. So thank you. And thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it was
man.
a blast.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks.